Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to an evening live stream. I don't know, it's never any other time than the evening when I stream anyways, so I don't know why I said that. You know I don't like Candace Owens, but how can you say that Andrew Wilson won the debate? He clearly did not. I don't even think I said there was a winner, but I would say Wilson won over Candace Owens. But these debates don't even solve anything. It's not even like meaningful. The winner is really not meaningful because nothing gets solved. It's just not even worth discussing. I said going into the debate it would be useless. It would be just. I saw Patrick Bet David's like they both won because he hosted it. He has to try and like save face. We use frozen Iranian assets to pay for insurance rates on ships reluctant to transit frozen Iranian assets. I don't know. I think that might disrupt a potential peace deal if they did that. Yeah, the debates don't really solve anything when you do a format like that. It's going to get nothing done. That's not going to solve a single thing. You get a crappy format like that where you just let them ramble on. And she apparently talked for like 70% of the time, which is just horrible moderation. CNN despises Trump. I mean, it's whatever. Andrew Wilson comes off as an asshole. Yeah, I think Andrew Wilson does have this weird, petty 5-year-old type behavior. I don't know if that's just part of his how he is, but he does have a childish type demeanor in some cases. Especially, you think somebody, if his relative intelligence, he'd be able to have the self awareness to know that that makes him look dumber, and it's not an attractive thing for an adult to have. The type of snide, like pettiness, it's just annoying. There's nothing that I gotcha and stuff like that. It's just yes. Good evening, Chloe. Cuyahoga County Fair was a zoo. Yeah, that's I was thinking about it. The reason I don't go to Walmart, I went to Target today and Target is just overcrowded with a bunch of white people. It's like all the white people now are going to Target. You look at Walmarts. Walmarts have turned into just third world wholesale stores. That's what Walmarts are. And I saw somebody on social media say this about Walmart, and it is true. And this is a first world problem, but still, it's like when you go to Walmart, it really has an effect on your day. Like it just makes your day worse. Like even the Walmart in my area, and you would think it's not like I live in a major city or an inner city, but even the Walmart in my area, I just can't go to it. And so you think about, well, now all the white people are funneling to Target, and now Target's overcrowded. I mean, I went to Target at 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's like overcrowded. And then they only have two people on the registers. I always do self checkout because I don't get much. But I was just thinking about that earlier. Like, forget about going to a Walmart. The dude on social media is right. You go to a Walmart, it's a miserable experience. You may have to go at like 11 o'clock at night. Honestly, like right when they close, or like 6 o'clock in the morning. The thing is with Walmart is they do have a lot of stuff. Target doesn't have much food, but the thing is if Target expands, then that's probably going to be a worse situation. It's going to be more people. But Target has a limited selection. That's the problem with it. Because it's like there's a few things that I would want to get. I could get them at Walmart. I can't get them at Target, but I don't want to go to Walmart. He was obviously just trying to get her to incriminate herself. His strategy was His strategy was to talk over and interrupt. He didn't know anything. I mean, I don't think she knows anything either. Like she's discussing ballistics. It's like, come on. But you are right on Andrew Wilson. It was a little bit of a letdown that he didn't fundamentally like. There's ways to fundamentally explain things probably over Candace Owens that would make you appear better, and he didn't really know much about the ballistics or anything like that. That was a little bit surprising. I mean, you go into this huge debate. She has some pretty crazy claims to defend. I mean, you have the info if you're Andrew Wilson. I mean, I think Tyler Robinson certainly killed. There's an extremely high probability Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk, and you think you'd be able to explain that in a way. Like if I was going into a debate like that, there would be a lot of ballistic prep. There would be a lot of prep on the state's case and the video that's been circulating of Robinson actually shooting Charlie Kirk, which I guess would end this entire saga, at least the idea that he didn't kill him. You shop at Giant Eagle. Yeah, Giant Eagle. We have a big Giant Eagle. It's a little bit further away from me than Target or Walmart or Aldi. But Giant Eagle, the one in our area, they do mark it up. It's almost like Heinen's. Like Heinen's is so expensive, and it's like the exact same good, but it'll be like 2 times more. I guess you're paying for the shopping experience, the quality of it. But Target is marked up as well. I mean, if you want to go for as cheap as possible, Walmart is. But I've noticed Target is less than Giant Eagle in terms of price. Favorite election cycle? Well, I can't really. I'm biased. I mean, how much money I made in 2024 versus 2020 or 2016. I mean, I guess the other thing is like, that's my coming of age. It's hard to compare the cycles because one cycle I was 16, the other cycle I was 20, the next cycle I was 24. So you're like comparing it at different stages and different political, like I didn't have much of a political. I mean, I definitely wanted Trump to win in 2016. That 2016 one was probably the craziest, but nobody was really online in 2016. I think 2024 in terms of like the terminally online and just how big the election was and how hilarious it was that Trump won by that much. I'd have to say 2024. 2020 was disgusting. 2020 was like inhumane in terms of people not wanting to talk to anyone. You had to wear a mask the entire time to vote. They took 5 days to count. I mean, I'm sure everyone remembers, but Trump was up early, and then it's like that was the worst. Sorry, but there's not a high probability based on evidence. I mean, I hate to say this to you, but you know that people have reported seeing the video of Tyler Robinson actually legitimately shooting Charlie Kirk, and it's going to be released to the public. So the idea that you're telling me there's not a high probability, I mean, like, we're going to have to get into the realm of, well, this is an AI video or something with these people. And then it's like, there's not even point of discussing. The security video is AI. Super close to 269, 269. Yeah, that would have been hell. That would have been crazy. There's not video that was shown in court. There is. I'm sorry, but there is. I've seen it on the timeline. I saw people talk about it. That actually attended the court during the I guess during the trial. But listen, we'll see if the video comes out or not. I mean, I would imagine, you know, people just want to believe something else because it's cooler. Yeah, Florida having their election. That's the Republican primary. Man, that dude, I hate what they do these primaries. This is just this James Fishback thing. This dude has been campaigning for like a year. I mean, it's a primary. And this is like, why are the primaries so late? It's one of the dumbest things, like an August primary. The election's in 2 months, the general. But finally, this Florida primary is going to be over. Do you still got Vance winning 2020? I don't think I ever said Vance was going to win in 2028. The only thing I've said about 2028 is it's too far away to make a prediction on Vance winning or not. Yeah, right. Now the JFK stuff is garbage. It is really bad, man. Like you got to have like I guess an equilibrium to be able to discern what you see with your eyes versus kind of like this in club of I know more than you because I believe the conspiracy. And a lot of people fail at it. And look, maybe I'm naive for believing narratives and stuff, but I don't know, man. I think there's a huge attraction for the human mind to veer off and say, well, no, the story is wrong. Delaware primary. Well, who cares about Delaware? No, I'm kidding. Delaware primary is on September. You might as well not even have an actual general at that point. They should have a primary on like October on Halloween. Yeah, that would be. I mean, come on, man. Seriously, shouldn't the primary at the latest be in like June? Ohio had their primaries, I think, in March or April. I remember voting. That was the time to have it in March or April. That was the Casey Putsch. Remember that was like April, maybe early May. Do you think the release of GTA 6 will have an impact on the economy? I don't think so. No, I mean, come on. You think Trump had involvement in Tyler Robinson? No, come on. Trump didn't have involvement in Charlie Kirk getting shot. Did you vote for Vivek? I didn't vote for Vivek in the primary. I voted for Casey Putsch. I mean, he actually got like 17, 18% of the vote. I knew he was going to lose because he's an oddball. He did start running a really weird campaign. Why pave over everything? Because there's a bunch of blood on the ground. I mean, the reason you pave over it is because obviously they know who the shooter was. They have security footage of the shooter taking the shot, and they're not going to keep in the center of a college campus a bunch of blood. Like once you get the forensics, you don't have to keep the crime scene and the blood there for weeks. Doesn't really make sense, especially in a public area that would be, a college campus with a bunch of younger people there. Vivek is the future of the Republican Party. Hilarious. Yeah, the beach photo. I don't know what that was about. It wasn't even a doesn't even make sense. Why did they cement over? Well, that would be cementing the roof if they cemented over the spot where Tyler Robinson was when he shot Kirk. Are you talking about? So they're cementing the roof. You're optimistic on Vivek, especially no income tax. Yeah, I don't think that's ever. They always promise the no taxes, the no income tax, the no property tax. Yeah, I don't think that stuff's gonna go through. Right. I mean, what is the actual time frame? I mean, if people are going to argue the time, then let's actually look at it. He's saying 72 hours passed. You know, that's enough time to investigate the crime scene. 72 hours in a public area. They can't just leave it there for like 3 weeks. I mean, it's also really not a question. I mean, he was publicly executed or publicly assassinated. Are you going to vote for Vivek in November? I'll probably just vote Republican in general. I don't know about Vivek though, man. Democratic governor would be terrible for ICE. Well, I mean, a Democratic president. That's what we may be trending towards. The governors may be the worst of our concerns in 28. But I mean, the ICE situation, it's such an uphill battle. You either deport all the people or you don't, and obviously they haven't been able to for whatever reason, political willpower, lack of resources. I mean, even though they got the biggest budget. But for whatever reason, I mean, we know the scorecard and the deportations are just not there. And I'm not saying that's fully Trump's fault. They got the biggest budget in ICE history. But, you know, the country is obviously not at the point where it's like, just get these people out. It's unfortunate. And you wonder how much more it's going to take. I don't know. Does it take another Democrat flooding the country with another 10 million illegals, and then what happens? Worst candidate in their prospective race, Vivek or Paxton? Well, I'm probably Paxton. I mean, we'll see what happens with Paxton, but Vivek at least works hard and is always on the campaign trail and has a bunch of money. He self funds and he's got a ton of ads. From a candidate perspective, from a politician perspective, Vivek would be better. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Trump has really talked about Vivek much. They kind of gave him this. They gave him the Republican primary in Ohio. I think that was his gift for leaving the administration because he was going to be part of the Trump administration, and then he left to campaign really early for the Ohio governorship. Dems need to win the House to control Trump's insider trading. Anywhere else, we got to vote straight red. That would the House really control Trump's insider trading? I don't know. I mean, Trump still has executive power to move markets. Yeah, but he can't actually bring them in. I mean, it's not like he controls the national immigration policy. But no, obviously the immigration stuff is terrible, and just the symbolism of Vivek winning is really bad for the state of Ohio. I mean, there's no two ways around it. Yeah, it's like one of these things where, well, this guy's a Republican, he has some beliefs, but this is just not good. Look at how many H-1Bs Texas has. Vivek will do that. Yeah, that is very bad with what Abbott has done to Texas. I see a lot of Texas Republicans really angry about that. Would you ever invest in Bitcoin if you had the money? I mean, if I had millions of dollars, I think Bitcoin's a good buy because you're getting a 3 or 4x off of it from here. And so I would say it's a good buy for sure. I don't know if I really have the money to be able to extract a, because you again a 3 or 4x, you really have to have some serious capital to get a big gain off of that. Like $5 million, you throw $5 million into it, you get to 15, 17, maybe 18 million by 2029. That's pretty good. You know, you get a nice return of 10 million over the course of 3 years because it'll probably only do with 4x maybe this next cycle, unfortunately. Do you think Texas Indians vote red? Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, they constantly are talking about how many Indians are in Texas. They have like these entire communities now. They are kind of more conservative. It just doesn't matter though. H1Bs. Yeah, well, the H1Bs have obviously gotten out of control. Well, they got out of control a while ago. But it's not even just the H1Bs, it's the compounding immigration. We're getting immigration and visas from all these different fronts. It's just, I mean, you could say the H1Bs and things of that ilk are really the most evil things in terms of the immigration, even more so than from the Latin countries, because the H1Bs, they say, well, they're credentialed, that's better. No, that's actually worse. That means they're taking away from credentialed Americans. That's a lot worse. If these people are coming over which with degrees of some type to be able to obtain a visa, well, those are quality jobs. It's not like those are just manual labor type work. Did you see the NYC ethnic map? No, I didn't see it. Is it going around X? NYC has been. They should do a 1950 to 2026 NYC. Who who built NYC? Well, it wasn't this it wasn't this demographics. I'll say that much. NYC. Oh, it's in every major city. Who is gonna bring that up in like a debate or something? Like every major city, man. This is a crazy replacement. Do they just not bring it up and they're like, this is how America is? They're not even credentialed because India has diploma mills. Yeah, but honestly, it doesn't even matter if they're credentialed. Like in the way, the point is that it's even worse if they were credentialed because that becomes a better white collar job that's getting taken away from an American. And like the whole thing, even these Republicans, when they say, well, what about the O1, which is like the elite of the elite? And it's like, we're not a recruitment center for the world. Like, we just don't want to be a globalized, you know, country. It's not good for the people in our own country can be the geniuses. Like, legal Indians or illegal Mexicans. Well, by volume, there's a lot more Mexicans, but the jobs that they do are a lot different. But I mean, I think there shouldn't be illegals in the country. I guess the farming industry would beg to differ. The thing is, the thing with the agriculture is that they would, if all the illegals actually got deported, they would either have to pay people more, which would hurt their bottom line, and they say they just can't do it, or they would have to modernize their practice. They would have to use AI, which to me is the exact reason why the illegals should be deported, so they can modernize their systems. Bolzarian's primaries tomorrow. Hope he wins. Dan Bolzarian, he's not going to win. I don't think Bolzarian or Fishback will win. I think Fishback, to give him credit, he is a very hard worker on the campaign trail. So I think he'll do probably better than a lot of establishment right wingers think. Winger. But yeah, I don't think Fishback's going to win either. Is MAGA over by 2032? Well, it depends what happens with the 2028 election. Because if Vance wins, I mean, that's a huge endorsement of MAGA. That's a huge endorsement of Trump. Now a Trump candidate has won after Trump won in 24, Trump won in 2016. But if MAGA loses in 28, I think that's it. And I think it's going to be you're going to find some establishment people try and recreate MAGA into a different formation for 2032, and it's not going to work. There's going to be some, that's when Rubio might try his hand at it, from what I heard about Rubio possibly running in 32. But 28, yeah, it looks like it's going to be Vance running under the MAGA moniker. You're bummed about the Florida governor primary. Trump screwed it up by endorsing Donalds. Yeah, Trump really should have handled it like DeSantis did. DeSantis, I think, handled it great. Unfortunately, DeSantis didn't have anyone picked to succeed him. But yeah, I mean, I think DeSantis, he said, I'm not going to endorse any of them. You know, we'll see. May the best man win. If Trump did that, then obviously Fishback would get more votes because you wouldn't have the MAGA people just voting for Donalds no matter what. You know, they say Donalds will help move the MAGA message forward. I mean, obviously Fishback is extremely Israel critical. MAGA, they've come out as very pro-Israel. And so they support Donalds because Donalds will be loyal to that. MAGA is the establishment. Well, that's just because MAGA has been the top of Republican leadership the past 10 years. MAGA was not the establishment. You say it's morphed into the establishment because it's taken over the party. It's like, it's the establishment in the sense it's the most popular thing within the Republican Party, but that doesn't make it what the previous establishment was. Even if it now, they've got some problems with the Middle East and things, but I mean, I think MAGA is its own thing. I mean, you can call it the establishment just because it's the biggest, most popular thing in the Republican Party. But technically, there is still an establishment that is less to the right than Trump. Fubu and Vance are the best we got. Then we got some serious problems. We need troubles in the party to forge a clear. Yeah, I mean, I do think there are going to be other candidates if you're wondering for 28, but the candidates are going to have to face the MAGA mountain, and if it's Vance, he's got the name ID. Whoever comes in probably doesn't have anywhere close to the name ID, and it could be a disruptor. But will it be enough to really challenge Vance? It's because I think there's going to be at least one, maybe two disruptors that really buy into the anti-Israel stuff and outflank Vance, but I don't know if that's going to be enough with Vance running with all the MAGA support. And so if Vance ends up losing in 28, that really creates the power vacuum within the party. And now you've got MAGA with Trump already gone, Vance gone, and the party has to make a determination on is it going to go further to the right or is it going to moderate itself even more? MAGA is not popular anymore. Nationally, MAGA, I guess, is not popular, but it was always it always had a high unapproval rate. In the Republican Party, MAGA is still extremely popular. You have to understand, in terms of its national popularity versus the popularity within the Republican Party, if we're just talking about the Republican Party, which we are when it comes to a primary, MAGA is still very popular. The food on the USS George Washington looks like the Fry Festival. Yeah, I saw Mad Frog. Thank you for that. I've seen that. There's some big issues with that, and that's not good for the military. It's a bad look for the administration, if that stuff is true, with the toilets and things. What caused Trump to go to the right? Most of his life he was more left center. Well, he lived in like very liberal areas, and liberals in general really changed, but I also think it was Trump was probably always spiritually more right wing. You kind of have to put on a face if you're doing business in NYC, and there was a time where liberals in general, I mean, they were still pro white for a long period. So it was a different Democratic Party, to be fair. Ben Shapiro wants Rubio to run in 2032. Yeah, I know. And that to me sets up as, well, Vance loses in 28. They're going to pit Vance into the further right wing. I mean, that's what all the Israel people on the conservative side are doing. They're saying, well, Vance is too anti Israel. He's too far right. Rubio should be the guy. Vance loses in 28. Then they push Rubio as a more moderate option in 32. I mean, this is kind of stupid that we're talking about this. It's a waste of time, but because we're not talking about 2032. Yeah, Trump went at the CNN reporter, and the CNN communications had to put out a statement. They were like, "We like our reporter," and Tim Pool went on Jubilee. God, those liberal arguments are so annoying on Jubilee. Ugh. What was the one argument where, oh yeah, they're doing that? Well, there's actually more political violence on the right than on the left because of these studies. And if you're Tim Pool, give me a just say this: give me an equivalency of someone on the left having the amount of prominence and political power and popularity of Charlie Kirk getting shot and then getting shot dying on camera and then right wingers celebrating it. Give me the equivalency of that, and they won't be able to do it. That's all you have to say to them about all these studies. Well, technically there was this low-ranking Democrat that died, so that's comparable to Charlie Kirk. No, it's not. No one is illegal on stolen land. That's a liberal boomer quote. The boom lib. Jubilee episode, me versus 20 XRP. Yeah, you could definitely get something like that in crypto. It would get no views. They wouldn't do it. They say no. Crypto interest is at an all-time low. They're not going to do that. Yeah, they compared it to a Minnesota state senator. Yeah, and that was a crazy person in general. I think it was a different thing. You're from Peru. You're moving back to the U.S. I mean, dude, you're joking. Move to Alaska. Who do you think will win the Florida governor's race? I think Donalds will win the primary, and then he'll beat Jolly in the general. That's not. I don't like Donalds. Just if I had to make a prediction, you don't think there's much a lot. You're a lawyer. Oh, you're a lawyer, very prestigious. Go live in Boston, Massachusetts. The cost of living, I think it's the highest in Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah, they call a guy from Aryan Brotherhood beating his wife right wing violence. Right. I mean, but that doesn't even matter. I wouldn't even challenge them on the studies. I would go straight to the actual violence itself and the reaction to it and make them compare because they won't be able to do it. And they won't be able to name all this right wing violence that they talk about. They're obsessed with Palestine. Well, that's just a race thing. That's the reason. It's perceived as, I mean, obviously Israel has done some really bad things, but it's like it's very racial in terms of the democratic support of Palestine over Israel, because a lot of them just view Jews as whites. Dems try to kill people with of notoriety and compare it to random one-off deaths. I know that's the thing, is that's why the comparison is so dumb. It's like Kirk was one of the biggest Republican operatives and propagandists in the entire party, and a major asset, and he gets assassinated, and liberals celebrate it, and they say there's actually more right-wing violence. Like, dude, seriously, you can't have it both ways. You want to celebrate this shit? An assassination of one of the biggest political figures, especially in the younger, that we have. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too, and that's that's their entire mantra, is they want to celebrate it but then say it's actually worse on the right wing, and then have actual arguments about it. You want to base it off of a study, then tell me five horrible right wing atrocities that are comparable to what happened to Charlie Kirk. If you're so obsessed with studies, you should be able to point to some actual events. They can't do it because it's all bullshit. They tried to make Luigi a hero. Yeah, he's an idiot, Luigi. It's like he got psyoped into this whole healthcare thing. The more I think about with healthcare, I mean, people get amazing healthcare in the US. You have a decent job, you're going to get really good healthcare. Yeah, Tim Pool kind of rhetorically walked up. He didn't really walk out of the debate. It was a joke. He came back. He wasn't even angry when he walked off. They tried to use that as, oh, he walked off of the debate. It was literally a joke because the guy kept trying to character assassinate Pool. And Pool was like, this is just low IQ. I'm going to leave. It's slop. And Pool just like, okay, I'll just go. And then he came back like a minute later, like, it's, oh, he walked out of the debate. I mean, actually watch what happened. If Charlie was alive, do you think he'd turn on Trump and Israel? I don't think he would, honestly. And that comes from his, you know, outgoing support of the administration. I mean, I don't know how he'd handle it exactly, because there were so many young people that wanted him to turn on Israel. I think he would stay loyal to Trump at this point. Peru, dude, is one of the biggest reasons everything is wrong with birthright citizenship. It's a troll. Do we really think he's coming from Peru on Friday and asking me for recommendations on where he should stay? You don't know where you're staying? Luigi was cool. Did you see him shouting when he was getting out of the cop car like a little bitch? Give me a break. He said something about like his rights or something, just like a little bitch after murdering someone. Yeah, go ahead, talk about your rights. Yeah. Oh, you want to move in with me now? How much are you gonna pay me in rent? When do you think we see the first Gen Z president? Well, probably the 2040s, 2050s, maybe. I mean, I think the presidents are gonna get younger anyway, so 1.5K. That's good, I'll be honest. That's nice. That's a nice amount. It's 1.5K. Is Abdul likely going to win Michigan? You thought Michigan had a pretty high Muslim population comparatively. Yeah, they've got like Muslim areas like Dearborn and what have you. I don't know if it's necessarily going to affect the election a ton. It's more of just a how many moderate libs will vote for him. How many moderate libs or independents in a swing state will vote for him? That's the question. Full access to the kitchen? Come on. The presidency skipped over Gen X so far. Yeah, we just can't stop with the boomers. The boomers gonna boom. Ted Cruz became president. Imagine Tucker Carlson's. Well, there would be a lot bigger problems with that than just Tucker Carlson's reaction. No kitchen. You can have you can have access to the pantry. A lot of Trump 2024 voters won't bother to vote in the midterms. Well, that's just general. You're gonna get less people for the midterms. It's a that's the problem with the midterms is the turnout rate is a big issue. So that's why they're trying to have this whatever it is called convention in September. Yeah, I mean, I guess Ted Cruz could run as like a propaganda arm during debates, like in the Republican primaries. But yeah, I don't think he's going to win or anything. Obviously, I think he'd drop out early. It's like a Chris Christie type thing. Don't a lot of Trump voters in particular abstain from voting in the midterms? The Democrats definitely have higher rates of midterm voting than Republicans in general. Rubio is Gen X. So what is Rubio in his 50s? 52 or something? Or 40s? Yeah, I would be. I'm Gen Z. If GOP establishment is smart, they will push someone they don't want in 28 and push a candidate they do want in 32. Yeah, I don't know how much. I think the establishment has just no power over the party at this point. And the only way they get it back is if the MAGA loses in 28. But I don't even think they would get it back in 32, honestly. Depends what type of Democrat wins in 28 and how radicalized the country could be by 32. 55, you're saying Rubio is 55? I mean, Rubio did run for president 10 years ago in 2016. So he had to be in his 40s at least by then, you would think. Company has been having record years under Trump. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends what sector, because the tariffs definitely hurt some small businesses. Mhm. Drop her. She did it on an African. Who are you talking about? Forehead. Who are you talking about? Hmm. You're just missing the fact that Trump betrayed us. You're not voting this midterm. Well, then you're gonna get Democrats, and I mean, maybe you want that for accelerationism, but it's gonna be a tough few years if a lot of people have that mentality. A girl you're talking to? Well, you got to give me some context. You can't just you just donated me that at random. I thought it was maybe something else that I had said earlier. Do you think some chaos will break out tomorrow in Dearborn with the white Christians showing up to the Muslim council meeting? I mean, I guess I haven't seen anything about that. I guess it's possible. Is that Jake Long? Yeah, I know they want Democrats to win. I'm saying in terms of that strategy, it has the potential to just turn the country more left for the foreseeable future. You're voting for Amy Acton. I don't even think you're not even an Ohio resident. I've seen you on here before. You're not an Ohio resident. You just saying that. Don't you kind of want the Democrats to win to teach Republicans not to screw us? But the Democrats, it's just going to be a worse scenario with them in office, and they can utilize propaganda to swing the country more liberal. Florida election tomorrow. Yeah. Bolzerian, Fishback. Who's going to win? Neither. Accelerationism is a buzzword people throw at people who don't vote for their preferred party. No, that's not what it is. It's people withholding a vote intentionally so the country can be more radicalized if their party loses, or a punishment for their own party. When in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania turn red like Ohio after. Yeah, it is interesting because Ohio was originally, it was part of the Rust Belt. I mean, going into the 2016 election, it was a pure swing state. And interestingly, maybe more rural area in Ohio and less focus on the urban centers. Like Philadelphia or Pennsylvania is going to be dragged down by Philadelphia. Think about how the population of Philadelphia, and then there's like Columbus, I think is more lukewarm versus like ultra liberal areas in urban centers and like Detroit. I mean, Wisconsin, you would figure Wisconsin would be a bit more conservative than it is. I know Madison, but it's like, do they even have big cities there to make it liberal? Ohio wasn't really a swing state in 2016. It was definitely a lean R. No, I would definitely say Ohio was a very close swing state in 2016. And I'm not even sure Trump led the final polls in Ohio in 2016. Tellerico, yeah, hopefully Tellerico loses because then they could really perpetuate the Texas blue narrative if Tellerico wins. I mean, that's completely different than a general, and I would still feel confident about 2028 in Texas, but obviously that would be it would be horrible for the Senate. It'd be catastrophic, but it would also allow them to gain more potential momentum in the state. Yeah, the Ohio Senate race is going to be very close. I mean, it's just not a great year. It's just not a great year. Rogan endorsed Tellerico. I don't think. I haven't heard anything about Rogan recently. I don't think Rogan would endorse. I don't think Rogan will endorse any of them. He barely endorsed Trump. Rogan's a bitch, honestly, man. I still remember that. And that was even when all those bitch podcasters were doing it, where they were going on the Trump train because it was like, and this is what they do. It's the most popular thing is to hate the current people in power. So that's why all these podcasters and they're all switching up on Trump because the most popular thing is to hate the current administration. It's like in 2020 they probably supported Biden being elected and then they soured on him because they actually have no political agency. It's like, yeah, Trump has done things I don't like, but I would still rather a conservative win than a Democrat. But all these people, they have no agency in terms of like public figures, so they just try and go with whatever the current narrative is and whichever way the wind blows. And now it's opposition to Trump, and it's the most popular thing. So now they don't like Trump, but they don't have personal values or opinions from a political perspective, like a value perspective. They're not actually conservative or Democrat. It's just depending on who's in power. They have to, you know, that's really what people have to understand about that. Yeah, that's what I said. I think I said Oregon should be ranked number one instead of Ohio State. Podcast circuit in 2024 was yeah, it was weird. You know, if I was Trump, I really wouldn't want to do all that. It just seems like you're pandering. I mean, I guess you have to do it for politics. I guess that's why I wouldn't be good in politics. Like you have to pander and go on all these shows and like, oh, we're so nice to each other. Look at how down to earth I am. But yeah, the thing with Rogan that I wanted to say, Rogan waited till literally the last day to endorse Trump. Like, dude, you're the biggest bitch. If you're gonna wait till the last day, don't endorse anyone then. Sorry for bugging you about the pool. The pool? Tim Pool? Uh, yeah, I mean, I didn't like when Tim Pool when he says it's going to be World War III every day or Civil War. I think that's stupid. To be honest, Tim Pool did have some dumb prompts. Like the prompts that Tim Pool had, like, dude, you're sitting there saying America is going to go and is on the verge of a civil war. Like, how do you even debate that? Honestly, like, okay, it either happens or it doesn't. We can point to statistics that may say, I mean, couldn't you point to statistics that say we're on the verge of World War III because of the conflicts going on? Okay, but what does that really do? I've never been to Japan. I've never been to Asia. Rogan was a bitch when he reversed course on deportations after like a week of ICE operations. Yeah, that's insane that you're propagandized that easily. Insane. And that's why, the deportations can never actually happen. I mean, go on Rogan and be like, so they're allowed to import 10 million illegal immigrants. We deport 500K and it's a problem. And that's really for a lot of these people. They have to be liberal. I mean, what else are they? They say you shouldn't actually deport any of them, only the super violent ones. Well, if you keep doing that over and over again, most of the people coming in are not super violent, so the country is just going to be overrun with illegal immigrants from Latin America. How do you think a country can operate like that? Are you a grown adult? Do you know that's not realistic or really what America was ever supposed to be? It's just ridiculous. You're a grown adult with these opinions and you can't see the forest from the trees. Remember when he said he was quitting podcasting multiple times? Yeah, I do. That's bad. You shouldn't say that to your fans. That's just attention seeking when you say that.
Quiet. You're very disrespectful in front of this young man. Okay? Don't you find her disrespectful? He understands. Quiet. Who are you with?
I'm with CNN.
Fake news.
I
You're
just wanted
fake
to follow up
news.
on this out-
You're a loud, boisterous person. You're fake news.
I was
Be
trying
quiet.
to find out if
Be
you had
quiet.
been talking
Be
to
quiet.
Kim Jong-un if he had asked you
You're a
to
fake
scale back
reporter, and you
all the
report fake
military
news.
exercises.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, is the president
So that's what CNN got really angry about.
Would soon declare the Strait of Hormuz to be a territory of the United States. Could you elaborate?
Well, I
what you
just
meant
think
with
it's a
that
great
logo?
idea, yeah. I mean, we control it. We control it with the blockade. We have a blockade. We control it with the blockade. And I like the idea of declaring it a territory.
Why do you do that?
We have total control over the strait. Now, they can be a nuisance. They can put a mine in the water, and people don't like having mines hit their billion-dollar ships, you know, et cetera. But the blockade has been very effective. And, you know, we're taking out, now maybe that will stop, or maybe it'll open up even further, but we're taking out millions of barrels of oil a week. If you look at the kind of numbers that we're doing, the strait is open, and the oil prices are coming down, and they will continue to come down unless we decide to do something far more drastic than we're doing. Iran is in big trouble. They have 300% inflation. The country is a mess, and the military is totally defeated. Thank you very much, everyone.
Why hasn't Kim Jong-un responded to your request to have a conversation?
How do you know he hasn't responded?
Has he?
Yeah, he has.
did you speak to
What-
him?
are you-
Did you speak to him before he
there-
came out?
What was that?
Is there enough food on the USS Lincoln?
Yeah, it is. That was a CNN fake report. The Lincoln has been out there for a period of time, good period of time, but over the years we've had them out there much longer. I was at a group meeting, and an admiral came up to see me over the weekend, and it was at a big group, and he happened to be an admiral retired. He said, "I've been on ships that are out there much longer than that, sir. And I know people on the Lincoln, they say it's beautifully maintained and beautifully taken care of." And other people went out and they found out to be true. It was fake news reporting from CNN.
Is there enough food on the USS Lincoln?
Yeah, it is. That was a CNN fake report. The Lincoln has been out there for a period of time, good period of time, but over the years we've had them out there much longer. I was at a group meeting, and an admiral came up to see me over the
Well, I guess there's nothing wrong with the USS Lincoln.
Did he ask you to scale back on those?
Quiet. You're very disrespectful in front of this young man. Okay? Don't you find her disrespectful? He understands. Quiet.
Is Ohio safe? Depends. There's really unsafe parts and there's safe parts. Have you considered paying Clippers? I don't think that would really work. I don't think that would really be a good investment for me. I would have to try and get clips too. I'd have to start rambling about stuff. How many wins did the Browns get? Hopefully only 3. Hopefully they get the number 1 pick. What happened to Howard Lutnick? He moved to Israel. He left the administration. He said he wants to live in Israel. He's done. How many interviews did Biden do? I think he did a grand total of 7 interviews. I'm just kidding, but he didn't do many. Newton Falls, Ohio. I never been there. You'll do it for free? Yeah, I mean, you could do it. I wouldn't. I think it might be a waste of time, though. It might be a waste of time. I don't know if I have the clout to do that, to go viral on that. Ludnick did his 25 years after 9/11. He's done. Well, that's an interesting way to look at it with the anniversary coming, 25th year anniversary. Have me say Tim Pool is bald. Tim Pool knows he's bald. The beanie is his umbilical cord. Yeah, I mean, I guess the country's not ready for the mass deportations, or they have to do them in a much better, more quiet way. They have to do it in a more quiet way. The thing is, Trump is so provocative to the left. I think Vance would do a better job probably about getting deportations. But I still think it'd be real hard. It has 5K people. It's a small industrial town. Newton Falls, you're talking about? Your whole family lives there? On your dad's side? You live in California? No, I'm sure I would like a town like that, honestly. Would you rather be fat but not obese with a full set of hair, or muscular and completely bald? Well, it depends the hair situation. Am I bald because I'm Norwood 7? I think you would rather be fat and then you could just lose the weight. You could always lose the weight. It takes about 6 months. It may take a year if you're really fat. You'd have loose skin. Yeah, that's the problem if you get too fat. It depends how fat you get with the loose skin. But once you reach a certain threshold, you lose the weight, you're going to have loose skin. You have to get surgery, and then it still looks bad. You said fat but not obese, you wouldn't have loose skin. Then I take that. You're bald and skinny. That's a tough one. That's a thing. If you're bald, you do have to bulk. You have to have muscles. I have a mature hairline. Yeah, my hairline it's very slowly receding, I would say, if I had to guess. And so just hopefully my genetics carry me over basically, because it is kind of moving at a snail's pace, but I do think it's receding. You balding in the back? No, not the back. Now, I know my dad's hair genetics. I know my mother's father's hair genetics. I have no temple recession. Oh, no. It is temple recession. It's not crown recession. The crown is the back. Your hair went in 2 years. Yeah, it's all based on your genetics, unless you might get lucky with finasteride or dutasteride. No, I can't use finasteride. I have to rely on my genetics. I can't use finasteride. Finasteride is not a good substance for some people. You use microneedling. Yeah, that's always brutal, man. Like, I understand the people that might want to do microneedling, but it like causes you to bleed, and it just I don't know, man. Microneedling is, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I guess. I guess I understand it. Yeah, microneedling works, but you have to also minoxidil also works because minoxidil promotes hair growth. Finasteride promotes keeping the hair, so it doesn't miniaturize. Have you met Red Eagle in real life? I never met Red Eagle Politics in real life. Well, I mean, you can say whatever your hair is. What was your father? Your father's hair journey is what yours is probably going to be. And also, your mother's father has some impact, but it's mainly your father. I mean, you tell me, well, my hair's doing okay. It just, I mean, your hair will go probably when your father's went. And then maybe there's a combination with your mother's father. But my mother's father had a full head of hair into his 50s. So maybe there's some genetics that are helping me. Certainly with the crown. But also my father really didn't go bald with his crown. So that's why I think I'm never going to lose the crown. Which is good. But, you know, the temple is very important as well. Negative consequences of dutasteride or finasteride. Negative kind of, well, it is really low libido and horrible cognitive problems like brain fog, basically, is what I would say. Tim Pool is so insecure about his bald head. Well, the problem with Tim Pool, he needs to fix his teeth. Well, I don't want to say that, but he does have some crooked teeth, man, Tim Pool. And when you see it, it's just like, but it's the guy, he's a guy who cares, right? How long has your hair been? You could imagine me with long hair or a man. No, I've never had a man bun. My hair was pretty long at one point. Probably in 2023, it was at its longest. And I kind of look feminine. And it just was not good. But for me, you know, what guys do is they'll bring their hair down. And I don't know if I just know how to style it. My hair really cannot do that, like legitimately. I think my forehead's too big. So then I have to have some of my hairline exposed, but I think it looks better than if I were to bring my hair down. It's just like I just can't do it. I don't have the follicles in the chamber to do that. Or even if I did, I don't think it would look good. It doesn't segment my face well. £411.96. You're a female? Would you ever transition? Come on, you're trolling. Do you wear hats? I don't like wearing hats. Hats are definitely, I mean, some guys like it, some guys don't. I don't really ever wear hats. Maybe at some point I will. I don't know. Hopefully not. I don't think that's a good sign. You can fix teeth. I know that's why I said I think Tim Pool needs to fix his teeth, but I never had braces. I never had a single thing in my teeth. My teeth were graded at a B+, and I said I don't want there to be any contraptions in my teeth, retainers or anything. I never had a retainer. My teeth are like a B+, they said. My teeth are a lot better than most kids, and then kids got the boost of braces. I never got braces. They said, well, we can give you braces, but your teeth are already pretty good. Hats will mess up my hair, honestly. I don't sound like a girl, but it depends. I mean, maybe if I get a different hairstyle, I'll wear them. What's up? There's nothing to check. You want me to check? It's like, it's all the same stuff. Are you going to make a set streaming schedule? Love watching you. Yeah, I don't know if it really makes sense for me to make a set streaming schedule right now because it's like maybe I should be making videos instead of streaming. So it's something I'll have to contemplate, honestly. Did you see the Browns' new stadium? If it came out today, I didn't see it, but I've seen the previous ones. You have 3 transgenders in one of your classes. Oh yeah, I have personal accounts of people that I know where they have like 2 transgenders in their family. It's becoming so normal. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's bad with the young people for sure. And you think it's a fad and maybe it goes away. I don't know. 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern is perfect. Yeah, that's when it would be. I mean, I'm not someone that likes streaming during the day. It's just I like doing the videos during the day. Sports vids will be the most effective. Yeah, certainly going into football season, I'd say. Are you working on improving your dating life? Yeah, I mean, I talk to girls and stuff, but I don't really know if I don't think. I mean, we'll see what happens. You know, a lot of the women are just like you got to try and meet them offline. That's all I'll say. You got to meet them offline. You got to meet them spontaneously. I know it sucks to hear. The only good ones you'll find is meeting them offline without them not having an Instagram or. Yeah, I mean, if you've got a really long, if you've got a strong frontal hairline, you can just wear the hat, just push your hair back like this, and then wear the hat, and that's easier to do for sure. If you're wearing a hat. Yeah, but websites are like the number one way people meet now, general. They're the number one way people meet. You have to understand the younger people. It's the easy access. Easy access, everyone knows everyone's intentions. You don't have to worry about the girl having a boyfriend. Well, in some cases, but no. Are you only going to marry a ginger? Ginger women are elitists. It's that's a harder thing to do for me. Will you stream 9/11 anniversary? I mean, maybe. I guess if what day is 9/11 this year? Probably like Wednesday or Thursday, I guess. How important is hair for attracting women? Very important. Well, hair is also structures your face completely. I mean, people talk about it. It's very important. I mean, and as a guy, it's a major problem because we're the ones that lose our hair. So we can downplay it and minimize it. I mean, it sucks if you have the genetics where you lose it, but it structures your face, so it's extremely important. You're 24, never had a boyfriend. Uh, you just got to go on one of the dating apps, probably, if you're a girl. What do you think the height cutoff is? Most guys are dating wise. Probably about 5'8" if I had to. I mean, obviously, when you're on the dating apps, they want the 6 foot, but realistically, if you're a good enough guy, 5'8". I mean, if the girl is 5'2", 5'3", maybe a little bit shorter, but when you get into the manlet territory, they're unattracted. They're not attracted to that. You can kind of get away with 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". You could get away with that for sure. I've seen a lot of couples like that. Let's not completely do the black pill on the 6-foot elitism where it's like you have to be 6 foot. Hair's not too big if you're a handsome dude. Hair makes you handsome. That's kind of the point. I mean, there are very rare cases where you get away with being bald if you're a dude. Very rare. It's like 1% can get away if everyone went bald to where they'd still be relatively attractive. Tom Holland is smaller than Zendaya. Yeah, I know. That's why I was saying that by about an inch. But I mean, obviously, Tom Holland's a movie star. That's not even. But even their relationship dynamic is a little strange with her being taller. You hate dating apps? Well, are you a guy or a girl? You said you want to date a guy? Yeah, I do have broad shoulders. I do. Women have told me that I have broad shoulders. This is what I think. I have the genetics to build muscle, but if I start building muscle, I also have heavy genetics to retain face fat. So it becomes hard. You're a girl? Yeah, I mean it depends. I mean, it depends a little bit what you look like, but you should be all right if you want to do it. I'm sure some guys probably have crushes on you at your work or something. I mean, I really don't know what to give advice to women, but build some muscle. Yeah, I know. It makes the most sense for me to do that for sure. It would be nice to have about 10 extra pounds of muscle. Getting 10 extra pounds of muscle, that's a year-long thing though. You do it natty. You do it natty, 10 pounds of muscle is really like 25 pounds overall, and then cutting 15 of the fat. So it's tough. Dating apps can help, and not I would say the dating apps for an average guy, you're not going to find anything on dating apps. 5-6 years ago, I think it was different. I do think the market was a lot better for men. People will be surprised by that it changed that quickly, but it did. The hypergamy, the reason it's talked about so much is because it genuinely has gotten that bad for men. I would say in like post 2021, 2022. And I mean, maybe there's certain cases where it's not the case depending on the city, but it's the threshold is significantly different now. That's the problem is, the DMs they get too. Would you ever get a hair transplant if needed? I don't know about that one. The issue with hair transplants is they just seem like they're just fake. I mean, you kind of just some of the hairlines just they look so clownish. I mean, maybe that's just because I see some of them, but I mean, it's tough, man. And the other thing is, I don't want to go to Turkey and they don't even speak English. It's like these guys, they go to Turkey, the people operating on them don't speak English. I mean, that's kind of important to have a hairline drawn. So I don't know. Did you see Chris Bumstead's hair transplant? It was horrible. I mean, maybe people like it, but dude, Chris Bumstead got like this square hair transplant, and it's like, dude, that's like a 10-year-old's hairline. That's not a good thing. He didn't even get like a rounded. He got like a. And people say, well, that's the best. That's a Norwood Zero. You don't want to have a Norwood Zero. You look like a clown. You've heard a lot of them speak English. I don't know. I've seen some videos. They don't speak English there. Those places. You need to be on Fin for a hair transplant. Then I could honestly I couldn't get it, but I would just tell them, yeah, I'm not getting on that. I'm not going to be getting on that drug. You're a 4 or 5 out of 10, but you're 6'4". Well, then you're gonna have to stop eating if that's the case. If you're 6'4" and you're a 4 out of 10, you're eating too much. You don't have to be on Fin. Yeah, it's like, why would they deny business to someone? Maybe they're like, well, it's going to be a poor reflection if it comes out bad and you start, because then people start losing the hair behind. I mean, it depends. It depends how fast you're losing your hair, honestly. Because if you're losing it at a snail's pace, you may be able to get a transplant and not get on finasteride and it'll still be fine for years. But if you're aggressively losing hair, you don't get on finasteride, you get a transplant, then it's going to look bad because the hair behind it's going to start going. Bill Belichick dating the young lady. Yeah, I think that's kind of ridiculous, honestly. I mean, look, the guy's got status and it's like, whatever. I mean, that's not a relation. I mean, I think it's kind of silly, but if you don't mind losing the hair behind the transplant, then you have to get another transplant later. That's why guys get 2, 3 transplants, whatever. It depends your donor area, how thick your hair follicles are. Things like that matter, depending on how many donor grafts you can give or whatever, donor hairs. Would you date a cougar? I want a girl my age or, just like 1 or 2 years younger, around my age. But it's better if she's like a year or 2 younger than me. Nancy Mace, what a weirdo with the tattoos. It's just such a horrible look. And then she has to cope about it like, oh, people are angry. It's just disgusting. Really. Those tattoos on your arms, that's disgusting. These women, they get so defensive about it. It's like, it's just masculine when you have tattoos. Like, you're really making it out to be this huge science experiment. It's just masculine. Tattoos are perceived masculine. So why would men that like feminine women like tattoos? I don't understand it. Date prime Hillary Clinton. Yeah, I mean she was attractive. Current Levitt. Yeah, I don't know. She's old. She looks old for her age. Did you talk about the company in Texas mining in Jamestown, Greenland? I never heard that story. I mean, if it's a very small piercing or a very small tattoo that's concealed and stuff, that's one thing, but yeah, and they do it really because they know it's unattractive to men. They think it's like them rebelling, but now they all have them, so it's kind of ridiculous. Did you ever get in a fight in high school? Yeah, middle school. It was more of a play fight that the teacher interpreted as an actual fight. So the teacher got really mad and bitched us out. We were outside at like it wasn't even recess. It was like some science event or something. We were literally play fighting, like just messing around, and the teacher perceived it as we were fighting each other. But I never fist fought anyone. Nothing like that. I mean, that doesn't really happen much at my school. Or I should say that didn't happen. I've been out of school for fucking 8 years, 7 years. You ever get suspended? I never got suspended. I got 2-hour detentions. That's the closest. I don't know about Billie Eilish. I mean, her boobs are almost too big. I mean, I know it's like a gay thing to say, but her boobs are almost too big. I mean, at a certain point, it's just like some angles, Billie Eilish looks really attractive, but then other angles, it looks like she's just, I don't know. Are you going to your 10-year high school reunion? I'm not gonna. I'm probably not gonna go to that. Yeah, that's the thing is I used to skip a lot of school because I had my own car, especially when I was a senior. That's where they got me, and they could have gotten me for a lot more than that. I'm surprised it was only 2-hour detentions, but the harshest thing would be a 2-hour detention, and then I got like 30-minute detentions, whatever. Isn't Billie Eilish gay? They all just caught it's fake being gay because it's like a liberal thing, I think. No, Billie Eilish was dating a guy, and then they say they're like bisexual to seem eccentric or like they're in the club or whatever. Bone Smash September. Huh. Honestly, I would like to eat basically no sodium and see if I could really thin my face out, but I just can't do it because I would have to cook my own food. You can't eat anything dude, I can't eat Chipotle anymore. I just can't do it. Chipotle was the only thing that I could eat where I could make it healthy. I can't eat Chipotle. Let's just say I can't eat it anymore. I'm done with it. So now it's like, well, I have to try and find something healthy. So what is the game plan? Well, it's cooking my own food. Well, that's problematic. Biggest conservative singer is now Nicki Minaj. Yeah. Yeah, she's literally saying go vote for Byron Donalds. I think that was her. No, I'm Protestant. Take on Toy Story 5. I never saw it. I don't know what they're going to do with Tony Romo. I wouldn't think he would get fired, but I'm not sure what the exact protocol is for that. I don't know what's going on with him. I'm guessing he posted bond, but Chipotle is loaded with sodium. It depends what you get. I mean, you can get certain things like bowls that don't have sodium versus, obviously burrito has a ton of sodium. Well, it's sodium and it's carbs. It's like, the thing is, I used to eat barely any carbs. I don't know how I did it. You just have to eat straight chicken. You would get no carbs. But, chicken, obviously not fried chicken, just regular chicken on the grill. It's hard for me not to eat carbs because carbs are in anything you get if you order something. And it's a lot of carbs. So, and then it's like, well, what are you supposed to get, like a salad or something? Like you can't even get anything. You need like I need to try and find something at one of these places that'll work. You ask ChatGPT, they recommend you shit that just doesn't taste good. I just can't do it. You ever tried fasting? This is a weird thing. I've had an interest here. I actually fasted for 6 days. So let me remember this. I fasted from Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I ate Saturday night. That was probably in 2020 when I did that. And yeah, at a certain point, you're not hungry. It's interesting, but I'm not gonna fast again. I'm not gonna fast again. I mean, it would be hard for me to do videos. If I started even fasting tomorrow, me trying to do videos would be ugh. Like I need food to function. I don't know why. It's just like if I don't have food in the morning or before I make a video, it's just miserable. What's a restaurant you would never eat at? I don't know. I mean, I never ate at Taco Bell. I never ate at Burger King. I never really eat the fast food like McDonald's or Wendy's either. Do you only drink water? I do drink more water now because I bought all these water bottles, so I've just been drinking a lot of water, but like I'll have Coke Zero. That's basically the only like what's the other thing that I had? Diet Pepsi, no caffeine, but they don't really sell that anymore. That's the other thing, they stopped selling it. You know, I had this Diet Pepsi, no caffeine. It's very nice. You can drink it at night. But then Target stopped selling it. Now I have to go to Walmart to get it. I'm not going to do that. This is crazy. Why would you discontinue this? I swear, Target discontinues like the stuff that I always get. That's got to be the 5th item that they've discontinued. I'm like, you're killing me. You know, they have the Good and Gather brand or whatever their brand is. And there was this granola that I used to always get, and they discontinued the confetti brand or the confetti flavor. Like, dude, this is the only flavor I liked. You're going to keep all the other flavors? You know, Wendy's discontinued sweet and sour sauce. That was insane to me. That's the best sauce. I'm not going there. You know, I have sweet and sour sauce. I'm not going there. You ate 7 calories. You probably gained a pound if you ate 7 calories in a day. You gained a pound. An extra pound. Yeah, Wendy's is actually good, but I do like Wendy's honestly, but I haven't had it in years because you get rid of the sweet and sour sauce. Like, I mean, I'm not interested. You're bulking. You're eating around 3,500. Yeah, that's pretty standard for a bulk. It's 3,500. So you're probably gaining about a pound a week or so. What's your preferred method of cooking? Grill, oven, stove? I guess what is the one thing that we have? We have this mini oven. Well, we have an air fryer. That's the big thing. White people, we all got the air fryers and because it was this trend. I mean, air fryers are pretty good, but I think they're kind of overrated. I just cook things. I used to cook things always on the grill, but then I started doing the air fryers. I don't really cook much anymore though. But it's like just really simple things. I don't really know how to do the intricacies on the dipping sauces and stuff. Wendy's chili? Oh. No, chili is good in the winter. I like chili in the winter. My mom used to make chili. It's good in the winter. What was the other thing? The potato soup she would make. Yeah, I mean, it's not good for you, but you have these rolls. And these are like different rolls. They're not the Hawaiian rolls. These are like really good rolls. I mean, I could eat the roll by itself. It's so good with nothing on it. Think about it. You have the rolls, and then in the middle of the roll, you put and it's like really chunky potato soup. It's like solid. It's really good. Air fryer is a pain in the ass to clean. No, the grate comes out and you can clean it. Yeah, my mom got a new air fryer. She got the better one. Do they have Texas Roadhouse? I don't think they have Texas Roadhouse in my city. Maybe in a surrounding city. You think you're a 7 out of 10, but you're 5'10"? Faint unibrow that you shave? Yeah, you gotta shave the unibrow if you have one. Are you true Irish or a Scot who moved to Ireland? I mean, I would say based on surnames, I think I'm probably mainly Irish if I had to guess. Outback Steakhouse. Dude, Outback Steakhouse was like voted as one of the most unhealthy. What was the other one? Cheesecake Factory. Yeah, we have a Cheesecake Factory, but it's like 40 minutes away from me. But man, cheesecake is really good. It's hit or miss. Some people hate cheesecake. I mean, I think cheesecake's really good, but whew, is it unhealthy? Do you think Vivek will win Ohio governor? Yeah, Vivek said he's just going to dump a bunch of money into the race, and so he'll win. I mean, maybe. You think I'd look like a beast if I bulked for about 9 months but didn't go crazy on it? It's possible it could help me. Sonic. I never had Sonic, man. Sonic is probably just like normal fast food, if I had to guess. There's a Sonic, but it's like 20 minutes away from my house. I never had it. Yeah, I think what I did was I just put my surnames, my mom's surname and my dad's surname into Chat GPT, and it gave me a report. Yeah, I know I have to actually get my saliva for a real report. They said it was going to take 3 months though to do. Ancestry.com. Are you athletic? I was definitely in really good shape probably like 3 years ago. I mean, I'm really never, I was probably skinny fat when like 2019, 2020. Then I was in really good shape, and now I'm kind of in the middle. Your ancestry test came back in less than a month. Well, that's nice. ChatGPT told you you're 60% Germanic, 40% Celtic. That's interesting. So probably one from your mom, one from your dad. Yeah, I think it would be Irish, English. There is some Italian. There is potentially some Germanic. No, I don't use DoorDash because it just costs too much for me, honestly. I just can't, and also I don't like people touching my food. I don't like people handling my food that are unsupervised. Listen, if I had somebody and I was rich, yeah, I'd have somebody get my food for me. I don't have a personal person like that. You're 40% German. Wow, you've got a lot of different stuff. Gypsy Crusader. Whoa! Oh, I was watching somebody else, not Gypsy Crusader, the other guy, not Chud either, a different one. But there were some funny clips. I don't know. I haven't seen much stuff from Gypsy Crusader. He was doing like streams for gambling or something. I saw. Do you live near one of the big C cities in Ohio? Yeah, probably. With your ancestry, would you be considered white? I'd actually have to look at you, man. Honestly, I'd have to look at what you look like. Weed or cigarettes? It's about a tie to me. Ding Dong Ditch. I mean, how old are you, man? Maybe when I was 10 years old, 12 years old. You look very white. Yeah, that's like Nick Fuentes. I don't even know story time videos. I mean, I was gonna do a video. There's been some things behind the scenes that have happened over the past few months, but look at the New York Times America. I know people have been saying to look at that ethnic map. Yeah, I did see his sister. She looks more Mexican than he does. What does it matter about Sunday streams? I mean, it's just a singular day. Whether it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I mean, I don't. It's just I stream random days. Sometimes it's not Sunday. You have a rare English surname. Irish, German ancestry. Armenian. Man, I can hear whatever those are. What are those things outside? Cicadas? We get them in August. I try and go to sleep at 1 a.m., honestly. But it was bad for a few days. Yesterday, I got a better sleep. Yeah, the guy was a troll about being Peruvian. Why don't you care to work out anymore? I honestly don't even know. It's funny you say that because I remember when I was working out every day and I was thinking to myself, I could never imagine not working out. So it is pretty funny. And then I haven't worked out in so long. I don't know, man. I think it's a mindset. I think it's a mindset. You have to have a desire to want to better yourself or work out, and then it compounds, and then you have to get the ball rolling basically to be able to work out consistently. And you have to get into a routine and things like that. And also, I was kind of a different place in my life. I didn't really have a YouTube or anything that was successful. Yeah, exactly. It is hard to get back into working out. I mean, I probably his personality type. Like, I'm sure people can do it, but I mean, if I was like fat or something, it probably would have to do it. I don't think the man should ever take the surname of the wife. Yeah, I think it's a cuck thing. There was a brutal video about a wife who didn't want to take the surname, and it's so stupid when women do that because your own last name was your father's anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But it's this feminist thing. Well, I shouldn't have to take his name, and it's like a power thing. It's all these power dynamics with women now. They want to have as much power as a man, and so that's a way that they can say, "No, I'm going to keep my own name, even though it was my father's name. My mother took my father's name, and that's how my last name formed." Not this person again. I swear, dude, you just go on that profile when I start talking because you're on another profile otherwise. iDubbbz took his wife's surname. I mean, that's a cuck. He's been proven to be a cuck, though. You can't do that. You're going to get laughed out of the relationship. There's going to be the woman doesn't respect you when that happens, and people think it's a funny thing. I mean, it is true. You're gonna be walked all over. I mean, I don't care if you keep trolling. It doesn't really bother me. Most of his European ancestry comes from Italy. I know, it's like, you know how it is, man. In terms of like whites, they say, well, the last ones to be accepted were the Italians. The second to last ones to be accepted were the Irish. Maybe excluding the Eastern Europeans. I never watched iDubbbz, but I don't know. I mean, he's like a Palestine supporter or some liberal or something. I don't know. But he's got a weird ass wife that just walks all over him. That's not a relationship that has any chance of lasting. When the wife doesn't respect the husband, it's just really awkward, and it's just bad for everyone involved. When the husband can't lead, I mean, how does a relationship really? It's like all these feminists that are like power walking, and they want to assert dominance over men. It's like, how is a relationship going to work? The man is supposed to be masculine. This just goes against the distinct nature of relationships, the dynamic of it. Nike stock. Yeah, Nike stock, I guess, got destroyed. I didn't even see this. 41 down. It went from 41 to 39. I guess I'm used to meme coins. Him and his wife have been together for 10 years. Yeah, who knows? It's probably an open relationship. Well, the NL is much better than the AL. I don't really see an AL team. I mean, who would it even be? The Yankees, Rays, or Red Sox? I mean, there's no great AL teams this year. It is only a 7-game series, so maybe. Did you see that video of the liberal reporters? They were like, something's going on with Trump's butt, and then they're like, I swear I'm not gay, but Trump looks like his butt is bigger. That's what they tweeted out yesterday. This is just weird, man. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you have a stage, but you should still take the name. I mean, and then keep your stage name. I'm a handsome young man. Really? Cal Raleigh. Thank God he didn't win MVP. Red Sox Cubs World Series. That would be a hell of a World Series, yeah. Fenway, Wrigley. Have you commented on MTG talking about Trump nuking Iran? No, I haven't commented on that. I didn't know. What did she say? I haven't seen that.
Is Caroline Leavitt replaceable?
No, she's not. She really isn't. She's standing right over there, and she's done a great job. But
You have somebody in mind?
that she likes her children more than she likes Trump. I'm very concerned about that.
It's a lot to juggle, right? And you said you support that going back. Is there somebody you have in mind that you'd like to see up at the podium to take over?
You, how about you? She could do the job. I think so. What do you think, Caroline? I like it. I've always liked you. That's why I'm doing this. I don't do this that often. I get off, I make a speech, here I come off, and we see Alexis. You have done a great job.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anything else that I didn't ask you? You wanted to make news in this interview. Is Caroline Leavitt replaceable?
Stephen A. Smith even a contender? It's hard to say. I mean, I think the Democrats they want some type of outsider. I don't think Stephen A. is like the outsider that they would want. He's too conservative on certain things, honestly. Even though obviously I wouldn't like his politics, but I don't think it really vibes with. Because like an outsider to me is someone like that's adjacent to DSA, or I don't really think he fits. Any updates on the Iran situation? Well, I think what happened is they're toning the strikes down. They want gas back down. They got to get gas down for these midterms. They're gonna have to tone the strikes down, and I don't think Trump's gonna be able to do a deal because it's not a good deal for them. Trump today told people to storm to the polls tomorrow for Randy Fine. Well, he's a big supporter of Israel. Trump's a major Israel supporter.
Or sort of compromise, or are they just?
And there it is. He designates it as a national security project. That's the reason he built that underground complex and this drone port. He wants it designated as the reason they're building it for national security. So it can be built and they can go around Congress. Or what is even the problem? I don't even know who stopped it. It's like these independent liberal judges, because Congress already should have passed it. I mean, it's a Republican Congress.
Say there should be a hole there.
The people that are opposing the ballroom are people that, in my opinion, are very disloyal to our country, very, very disloyal to our country. And I think we're doing very well. We're way ahead of schedule. We're under budget. It's going to be the most beautiful ballroom of its kind. You know, when I was in China, we went to the Great Hall of China. It was this big, beautiful building. And we don't have anything like that. And we have to have that. It's very important. But we also are getting tremendous military protection, drone protection. The building is drone proof. It's missile proof as much as something can be missile proof. It's totally bulletproof. Any bullet, nothing can go through the windows. We have, you know, all top of the line stuff. It's very safe. And you know, the one thing, it's not for me, because I'm going to be here a very short period of time. When it's finished, if it finishes right on time, on budget, on time, I'll be there for 4, 5, 6 months. This is for future presidents. This isn't for me. This is for future presidents. And it's a gift. We're making a gift to our country, spending hundreds of millions of dollars to build a ballroom. And it's a gift from great patriots of this country. From, as an example, I mean, I'll give you names. I released some of the names. In fact, I wanted to put them out today, but we got a little busy. And this was, frankly, being with this group of people was very important to me. But we'll be putting them out, some of the people that contributed.
You following the governor's races? Yeah, in Ohio, I kind of have to.
been charged with vandalizing the World War II memorial along the National Mall here in Washington is being allowed to leave the area ahead of next month's preliminary hearing. A judge says Melissa Ferris is not a serious flight risk. She made her first court appearance today and did not enter a plea.
That's the suspect?
She faces 2 felony counts, both of which carry a term of up to 10 years in prison and $250,000 in fines. The House has been charged with vandalizing the World War II.
You like the Trump ballroom? I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea of building great things, but I think the ballroom, unfortunately, cannot go where they're putting it. The scale of it is too large relative to the White House's size. But, I mean, they're going to build it, so...
A very easy military operation in Iran. That's strange. No, we'd rather not get involved. I see.
President Trump says he also wants to see South Korea chip in more to defray the cost of keeping tens of thousands of U.S. troops and Air Force fighter squadrons and combat-coded aircraft there. The president was also asked the following question, Martha.
Why hasn't Kim Jong-un responded to your request to have a conversation?
How do you know he hasn't responded?
Has he?
Oh, you're talking about that. You're talking about the college football pool. I was wondering what you were talking about. Oh, yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah, yes.
The president did not elaborate and provide more details. Martha?
All right, Lucas, thank you very much. Lucas Tomlinson reporting from the White House.
A very easy.
Asmongold, I don't think Asmongold will really work as a politician.
What we saw were crimes of poverty, people who were stealing things like toothpaste, people who were stealing things like, soap. And that means if you're stealing those things, you need them. And we are choosing to protect billion-dollar companies like CVS and Walgreens over the people who are struggling to get by. So I would say that the true crime is that there is such incredible wealth disparity in this city that there are people who can be thrown in jail simply for having a biological need.
Thrown in jail for a biological name. But listen, the problem with that type of rhetoric is the issue is that, first off, the U.S. is a massive welfare state in general. These people should not have to stay. If they have that low of income, they should be able to get certain benefits through the U.S. I mean, the amount of money we spend on entitlements is insane. But secondly, and more important, when it comes to like theft and things like that, no matter what it is, it's like a public societal code. And if you allow for theft, any little bit of theft, you risk society becoming worse off and not having law and order. And so, even if they say, well, it's just these little things, it's not how it works. A lot of the stuff that gets stolen it's for resale. President Trump's team actively discussing nuking Iran, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, or some.
Yeah, so I guess she said that. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this live stream. believe I started at 8 o'clock. I think it was 8 o'clock when I started. Yeah, it was maybe 8:30, was it? But guys, I will see you another time. But like the video, like the live stream. You give me $100. What is this, like some prostitution? You give me money to stay? You're not gonna do that. Andrew of Canada, I'll see ya. Jacka 5676. I'll see you guys later.